Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials, grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Allen? Here. LaFour?
Here.
Mistrovich?
Here.
Rindell?
Here.
Ricks?
Here.
Schultz?
Here.
Warren?
Here.
Good to see everybody here tonight. We move on to approval of minutes for the City Council organizational meeting of November 13th. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion. Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on those minutes? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We also have the regular minutes of November 6th. Is there a motion for those minutes?
I'll make the motion. Support.
Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion on these minutes? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to audience comments on any non-agenda items. We first would ask State Representative Jamie Green.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for having me present to the council today. So we ended session last week. We had our what's called sine die, and it was the first time in 55 years we've ended session this early. And in my opinion, thank God, because we can stop the bleed finally. But things have been really rough as a conservative, needless to say, with the Democrat trifecta. The one good thing that I would like to, if you guys don't know this already, is we overwhelmingly, with 106 vote, passed revenue sharing. The revenue trust fund finally passed, and that was something I know I worked on, and Mike has worked on, Councilor Mistrovich has worked on for many years with MML to finally get that funding secured, that the legislature can't touch it, and it's set aside in a trust fund that when it comes sales tax and taxes come out, that this trust fund is set aside for municipalities to help with revenue sharing. So I am very excited that I can bring at least one message of positivity. Unfortunately, though, some solar siting, and the state is overreaching in a lot of local issues where they are taking things out of the Planning Commission's hand, and it's going to MPC. So there are some things that aren't so great, but we're going to see how that turns out. Though it passed, I'm very curious to see how they actually enact it, and are they able to maintain it? And I'm going to find that they're going to be overwhelmed, especially because, and also being challenged by local municipal governments, because it also directly impacts their master plan. So when they passed it, an unintended consequence is that now they're deciding where solar is being sited, when in their master plan, and you guys know you have to renew that every 5 years, and you work so hard on your master plan that the state can just come in and change it. And so I'll be very curious to see what MML, MAC, the county groups do in challenging some of that ruling. So as always, my office is still open, that even though we have ended our session, I am still working for the 65th House District. I do have staff. I decorated for Christmas. It actually looks like Buddy the Elf had a party, and actually we did last week in my office. And so people are welcome to come and to visit. And always, you can email me at Jamie, JAIME, at house.mi.gov. So Jamie Green at house.mi.gov, or my phone number is 517-373-1775. And if you guys have questions, or I can just stick around afterwards and spend some time with you. Thank you.
Hopefully you stick around afterwards. Spend some time. It's been some time since we've seen
I must
you.
say, oh my goodness, it's so good to be home.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you. Chief Costello, I believe you wanted to speak also at this time.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Costello, Chief of Police. Just a quick second, just to say thank you to each and every one of you guys for this past year and a half of craziness. Also, special thank you to Representative Green, because she was on the council at the time. So that's basically all I want to say. The city manager has been excellent, and it's been extremely humbling that you guys have given me the support that you've given me. So I just want to publicly say thank you, and I look forward to getting back to work. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there all this time, Chief, and doing an excellent job.
I appreciate that.
Even
Thank
with
you.
the pressure, the outside pressure you were getting. You've done an outstanding job.
I do feel a little lighter today, so
I'm sure you do. Congratulations.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to address council at this time? We ask you come up, state your name and address. Speak in the microphone so we can hear you. So.
Alrighty. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Elias Pace, and I attend Richmond Middle School. I'm in 8th grade now, and I've been riding my bike to school since 4th grade with my brother and sister and my cousins and friends at times. And I just wanted to address that 2 weeks ago, I think 2.5 weeks ago, I experienced our crossing guard almost get hit by a car. Like, we were just pulling up, and she was helping a few others cross the street, and a truck flies by, like, it was a blur, well over 45 miles an hour, and she has to jump back to get away from the car, and it just goes by like nothing happened. And then a few days later, I was in the road, me and my little cousin, and we were riding past, and this another car comes speeding through, again, well over 40 miles an hour, and I have to get out of the way, like hit the pedal on my bike and get onto the street before that would hit me. And I feel that just needs to be addressed, and yeah.
What corner were you at?
I was, it's right in front of the school. It has the
Is it
cross-
Grove and 32? Grove Street and 32 Mile Road?
Yeah, just right there. We live like 2
We know
blocks.
about that.
Yeah.
Did you see that? We put some big lights up there.
Yes, we did see that, but
Yeah.
I have seen that they've been taken down, and it's since, I mean, it makes sense because it's gotten lighter in the mornings.
Yeah, but I think the city manager can probably fill in a little better of what we have going on for that corner.
Sure.
Mr. City Manager.
We're working with both DTE and Macomb County Department of Roads. DTE is working on getting us a new light that will be on more the, where the light tower was, on the west side of that T intersection. Right now, there's a older Cobra style light on the east side of that intersection coming on the north side. This would come off the south side, be a much brighter light. They're working, the pole that'll come off is owned by the Department of Roads, so they're working together to get the written permission to place the light there. And so, at least from the correspondence that we've been getting from DTE and Department of Roads, it's just a matter of time that it'll get placed there. Also, Macomb County Department of Roads is working with our Public Works Director, Jim Getzinger, on upgrading the crosswalk signs to have LED lights that will be push button for the crossing guard to activate, so that once she has somebody to cross or sees somebody coming, she can press those. It'll light up that intersection much more than it is now.
Light up to St. Clair. It's very, very, very bright.
Yeah, so,
Yes.
and we also, early on, when we started to see issues, once school got back into session, I know our chief had put out something on social media that, hey, please pay attention. There's children and crossing guards out there. When that appeared to kind of fall on deaf ears a little bit, we also did a selective enforcement at that intersection for about 2 weeks. Officers were out there. We brought them in on overtime with a zero tolerance on writing tickets. So they wrote quite a few tickets in a 2-week interval, and we're going to be periodically bringing them back so that people don't get used to that either they're there or not there. They're just going to be randomly there certain time periods in the future. And so all of those things, I think, will be kind of coming together shortly and improving that situation at that intersection.
So we hope that's going to help immensely
Yeah.
at that intersection, because it's been pretty dark over there, and we didn't realize just how dark, and certainly drivers have become very aggressive, it seems like, in the last couple of years especially. So they don't like our crossing guard sometimes, and they just keep on moving through. So as the city manager stated, there was a number of tickets handed out to people who were driving carelessly through there for 2 weeks. And I personally went and sat there and watched one morning from about 5 to 7 till about 7:45. And I saw very, very good drivers over there after all the tickets that were handed out. So, and the light certainly helped. So hopefully with DTE and the bright, very, very bright flashing lights that will be coming hopefully in the future from the Department of Roads, that should be a very, very safe intersection. We hope we never have any problems there, but sorry that you had that. We heard all about it, and based on when our crossing guard told us just how bad it was, the city manager jumped on it with the police chief and went right after the perpetrators, so to speak. So, does that answer your question?
That does. I appreciate that.
Thank
I
you
appreciate
for
that's
coming.
been taken as a note.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Take care. Would anybody else like to address City Council this evening?
Hello, my name is Jelena Varga, Elias's mom, and I just want to take a quick minute just to say thank you. I wish the chief had stayed because they jumped on, like Elias said, and like you mentioned, city manager, that right away. It was horrible that it happened, getting the phone call from a friend that literally, saw my son almost get hit and saw my nephew almost get hit. It was definitely, jarring, to say the least, but seeing the reaction of citizens of the town, of the police right away. That very next Monday, there were police sitting there. I saw firsthand as well the tickets being given out, people being pulled over, people were messaging me just saying how grateful they were to see that kind of response. So yeah, I just want to take this quick minute to say thank you. I very much appreciate our voices being heard and then further addressed by something more sustaining than the temporary police. And I understand that you can only do so much with overtime police and all of that, but just awesome, wonderful to see all of that. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? We'll move on. Adoption of agenda, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
City Council, any changes? If not, a motion to accept the agenda as presented would be in order.
I'll make the motion.
Motion been made.
Support.
Support. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There's no discussion on a consent agenda. Motion, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to items for consideration. We have one this evening, consideration of a lot split combination from the Caparuccios. Mr. City Manager.
City Council is scheduled to consider approving a lot split and combination request from Jerry and Suzanne Caparuccio for a parcel they currently own at 36320 Byer Street and 38361 Beach Street. They have a residential house and garage on Byer, and then the corner, which is addressed off of Beach, is an industrial building that currently houses a auto repair facility. This item was a variance to allow for this lot split and combination was first in front of our Board of Zoning Appeals, which approved it. It lessened the rear yard setback for the barn on Byer Street, in which will allow us to approve the lot split, taking property from that Beach Street parcel and adding it to the Byer Street parcel. Essentially, when the BZA looked at this and administration reviewed it, we realized we had two legal non-conforming buildings. The barn on Buyer Street, there's really nothing we can do to make it conforming. And by approving this, approving the variance with the BZA and then approving this lot split in combination, we can actually make the garage and the residential house on Buyer Street come into conformance. If you've driven by, the fencing is already following essentially the action that we're going to be taking tonight, as they own both parcels. So it is our recommendation that you approve the lot split in combination.
Thank you. Would either of you like to address this issue?
He's pretty much said it.
All right, he's pretty good at that, isn't he?
Pretty much following where the fence is.
Yeah.
The fence has been there for 50 years, so it's just kind of following that.
Just makes more sense for the actual lot.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 lot split combination actions requested by Mr. and Mrs. Caparucio for the appropriate parcel numbers.
Support.
It's been made and supported. Is there any discussion? Just makes good sense.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, you had it at ZBA.
Yeah, as the chairperson for the Board of Zoning and Appeals, the administration did a great job of bringing all the information together, and there's no reason to deny the request here at the BZA level. So I appreciate the staff and the Prusios for coming and trying to fix one of the properties.
Yeah.
So it's a good all-around situation.
Anything else from anybody? Any audience comments? Back to the table? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Thank you very much. We move on to miscellaneous matters from the city manager, sir.
It's in the calendar, but I would just remind everyone that the last day of yard waste will be 1 week from tomorrow. So the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And so if you're wanting to get all the leaves out to the street, this weekend would be the time to do it. So after that, they won't be picking up yard waste.
Very good. Moving on to council comments. Jim?
Just wishing everybody a safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Emily?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
John?
Nothing tonight.
Rob?
All set.
Dennis?
Nothing to.
Michael?
No, I'm all set, thank you.
Okay. I would echo Mr. Schultz's comments there about Thanksgiving. It's coming up on the 23rd. The library will be closed at 5 p.m. on Wednesday evening. They will not be open late. The City Hall in the Community Center will also be closed on the 23rd and the 24th. Library will also be closed on Saturday, the 25th, and everybody will be back on Monday. Christmas decorations will be going up on this coming Sunday morning. If anybody cares to come out and help, we will meet at the barn at 7, and we put out decorations at 8 o'clock. We'll stop and have breakfast and then get out and put them up around town. December 2nd is the Kris Kringle Market that will be held at Mariachi's Banquet Center with food vendors, both inside and out. 2 to 8 o'clock will be trolley rides throughout Richmond. From 3:30 to 5 o'clock will be the historical village will be open, and Mrs. Claus will be over there before she brings Mr. Claus over at 5:30 for the Santa Parade that will run from basically South Forest on Main Street down to the town clock and back to the Veterans Pocket Park, where we will have various things going on. Santa will get the key. The city's Christmas tree will be lit by Little Miss. We'll have some caroling going on. There's I think we're going to have vendors that night also. We're going to
Yes, outside, both inside and outside.
And outside,
Yep.
and we'll have a few small food trucks will be there. And then Santa will, after the ceremonies are over with and the tree lighting is done, Santa will be behind Mariachi's Hall. That is where he was last year, and some people were confused where he went. He was still in Richmond, and he will be there again this year. There will be the Christmas cash drawing. Let's see, we'll keep Main Street closed between Water and Monroe, where we have the ceremonies and the tree lighting and everything, for about an hour afterwards, so people are in no hurry to leave there. And there will be photos taken with the kids, with Santa. Again, that will be held behind Mariachi's Hall. So it's a big day and night there. Richmond Santa Parade, you can go on, I believe you can go online on the city's website. We're still looking for entries. Everybody's welcome. There's no walkers, but if you can drive it and get it lit up at least 50%, we'd love to have you in our parade this year. Last year's parade was even bigger than the year before, and we hope to build on that. The Lois Wagner Memorial Library will have a book ornament workshop on November 27th at 6 o'clock at the library. It's ages 14 and up, and they're free. Any questions, 727-2665. Also at the library on November 29th at 6 p.m., again, ages 14 and up. It's a free workshop, creating several seasonal designs. All supplies are provided. Again, questions, 727-2665. The Lois Wagner Memorial Library, they're really getting it this week. It's longer than the meeting. The 28th Annual Christmas Cookie Sale fundraiser will be Friday, December 8th from 12 to 5. If you'd like to donate, again, 727-2665. They will be sold by the pound. And all profits, of course, will go to the Memorial Library. And last but not least, the Lois Wagner Memorial Library Mitten Tree Collection is going on till the 11th. They are looking for gloves, mittens, scarves, hats for both children and adults. They can be dropped off at the library. Again, any questions, 727-2665. On the city's calendar, we have a TIFA meeting tomorrow night, the 21st at 7 o'clock right here at City Hall. Again, we will be celebrating our Thanksgiving on Thursday the 23rd. And as already mentioned, the last day of yard waste collection will be the 28th of November. A reminder, no overnight parking on curbed streets will begin on Friday, December 1st. And our next regular scheduled meeting will be December 4th right here at 7 o'clock. There's one more thing. I was contacted by a citizen this week and contacted the city manager, and he's going to be working on it. We need to get the word out, evidently. There's quite a few dogs that are not being leashed around town. And there's quite a few people who are not picking up their dogs' droppings also, especially on the trail. I certainly hope people will think twice about letting their dogs loose or not on a leash, because it's traumatic when somebody's dog goes after somebody else's dog. So I believe the city manager is going to be looking into that to where we can get that word out even more so, so that we can let people who may not know that we have a leash law in this town, and it's for good reasons. We move on for a closed session. Do we have a motion to go into closed session?
I'll make the motion to convene into closed session in accordance with Section 8A of the Michigan Open Meetings Act, Public Act 267 of 1976 as amended, for the purpose of considering a periodic personnel evaluation of the city manager as requested by the city manager.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion on this? Be it not? Roll call, please.
LaFour,
Yes.
Mistrovich.
Yes.
Rindell.
Yep.
Ricks.
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Warren.
Yep.
Allen.
Yes.
The motion does pass. We will go into closed session in about 5 minutes. Okay, is there a motion to go back into open session?
I'll make a motion to reconvene into open session.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We move on to other business. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the city manager's evaluation results. The city council has completed the city manager's evaluation with input from all councilors. The city manager evaluation placed the manager between effective to very effective, and the city manager's and Tifa director's compensation should be adjusted in accordance with the raises provided to the other full-time, non-affiliated personnel this year.
Support. Motion been made and supported. Is there any discussion? We want you back another year, Mr. City Manager. You've done a very, very good job for us again, and have done well for the people of Richmond. Every day, it seems like you do something even better than you did the previous day. So you're growing with age here, definitely. Appreciate it. Any other comments, council? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Motion to adjourn be in order.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There's no discussion on adjournment motion. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. Thanks for being with us.